The decoy offer is nothing new. It's definitely something that loads of businesses have done for centuries, and you'll recognize it when I give you an analogy. But essentially, at its core, it's where you entice a customer in with something attractive. And then once they're in the ecosystem, you then show them on their onboarding call all the bells and whistles of what you'll normally offer. And then you give them a load of bonuses and extras to hopefully buy more than they ever would alone any other way, essentially. So, hi guys, nice to meet you. I'm Christian. I'm currently running a math tutoring company, or maths in England. This is my third business, from a coffee shop, six-figure, chocolate factory, seven-figure, to math tutoring company, fully remote, hopefully, the first eight-figure one. And a couple of weeks ago, last week maybe, it was only last week, we started testing out this decoy offer, running one ourselves. And so far we've had 4 people come through it. Not a massive start, we've started small. And so far, looking promising. Leads are definitely more qualified. Financially, they are showing a little less knowledge and research than I would have expected. But upfront payments or cash collected so far is about 20% higher than normal. So a pretty promising start so far. But I wanted to give you this analogy I just came up with when talking with one of my staff, one of our tutors, who recommended Alex Hormozi's $100 million money models book. We bought a load, sent her one. Anyway, we've been talking about it. She was like, well, what about for my popcorn business? I'm selling like this. Is this how you lay it out? And I was like, I think for a popcorn business, you might want to set it out how supermarkets do. So imagine you get your popcorn stocked in a supermarket. How they might run a decoy offer, which, by the way, literally every supermarket in England does this, is at the very, very back of the store, they sell milk, eggs, and bread. But it's always at the furthest back, and it's always really cheap. And everyone in the UK knows that those things are way cheaper than they should be, because the supermarkets like subsidize them or sell them at a loss, which does mean farmers get screwed, but that's not the point I'm talking about. So what that means is you choose them over someone local because it's cheaper, right? No one else can out-compete them. So you go in to buy your milk, bread, and eggs. That's the decoy, right? You come in for those things, but on the way in, you pass the power aisle. Now, the power aisle is something specific to supermarkets where you'll recognize it as soon as I tell you, where you walk in and you see all of the seasonal or the discounted or the special offers that are in that first row that you walk around, that walk down, that like 90% of the customers will walk down to enter the main part of the shop. And in that power aisle, if it's been, the most classic example is the summer, right? Sun has come out for the first time in England. It's going to be ice cream, barbecues, coal, all the barbecue paraphernalia, disposable plates, all that sort of stuff. But the example I gave my one of my tutors was, she was talking about popcorn. I was like, they might have a movie night selection going on. So it might be some like salted caramel biscuits, some sweet salty popcorn, maybe an offer for an extra tub of Ben and Jerry's, right? So you go in for the milk, bread, or eggs, right? Say you're going in for milk. And then as you pass the power aisle, you're sold on the idea of a cozy, warm movie night in when it's raining and dark outside. And hey, actually, these things will make my experience much better. So you go in for milk and you leave with milk, salted caramel biscuits, popcorn, a tub of Ben and Jerry's, way more than what you were expected, and you're happy about it. Because it's just a coincidental thing that lit up that you didn't know was an option. And that at the heart is essentially what a decoy offer is. Someone comes in looking for something that they think is the problem, and then you highlight the real issue that they are struggling with and give them the solution. So in our context, and I just had one close an hour ago, the lead came in and she had actually done her research, which was nice. And the number one constraint from the very start was, the first thing she said to me was, I'm tight on money, paying for another tutor, don't have it, but he needs it, right? Just had a mock, is doing badly. So I let them talk them. And then we went through the whole thing about why they're there. The whole sale was cool. The closer framework. And by the end of it, I was like, what's the biggest concern you guys have about paying to learn things? And they couldn't come up with an answer. So I said, well, for me, it's not getting the results, which is why I'm able to offer you a guarantee on your results or all of your money back. And so by this point, we've already gone through how we test, how we measure results, how we track, all this sort of stuff, and how it works. And they loved the sound of it, rated it a 9 out of 10. They're like, this is perfect. I'm like, sweet. And they just needed to see it. And so by offering them a spot on our full program, which is 2 sessions a week, it was actually a requirement for them to complete everything anyway, plus a big discount, plus a guarantee. She was almost going to buy, and I could have pushed her to do it, but I didn't feel like it was quite right. So I backed off a bit, probably makes me a poor salesperson, and found a solution that worked best for her, where she still went up to 2 sessions a week, and she paid £17 for something that's normally £150. So I said, well, go up to 2 sessions a week, and would you like it guaranteed, the results or your money back? And she was like, well, yeah. And I was like, great. So all we need to do then is we'll add on 150 for that second topic, and that first one will charge you the difference to bring it up to 150. So it'll be a total of 300 for the 2 sessions, of which you originally paid £17 for one of those. But with that, you're going to get the guarantee, and then you're going to be in the right place to know for a fact it's working. And she was like, perfect. And I was like, great. So the card ending in 5, whatever. She was like, that's the one. So I charged it there and then, on she came. And they were happy about it, which is really nice. So there you go. A little insight into what a decoy offer is, how the mega giant companies use it, specifically in the UK with supermarkets, and how we're using it in our math tutoring company. There you go, guys. Have a great day. Lots of love.